Hello, and welcome to an all new episode of The Spotlight. I am your host, Kente, all the way live from Los Angeles, California, and I'm so happy to be here with you tonight. We have a wonderful guest, Taiisha Bradley, celebrity publicist.
Hey.
We're going to talk the world of being a publicist and among other things. Hopefully, my co-host, Jen, will be joining us pretty soon. She's running a little bit late, but let's get right into our guest. It's the lovely Taiisha Bradley. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me chill with you guys tonight.
Yeah.
It's tonight where I am.
Well, it's 6 o'clock here, so it's getting later.
It's getting there. Oh, it's 8 o'clock
Yeah.
here.
So
That's like my age group bedtime winding down kind of thing, but I'm excited to be here.
now you're based in Nashville, right?
Yes, I'm in the Nashville area, Tennessee, Nash Vegas.
Now
Yeah.
we talked before, and I was telling you that I've been to Nashville a couple of times. My sister, who is a dentist now, many moons ago, I won't say, I'm not going to out her age, but
Don't do it.
no, I want to stay alive. She went to two HBCUs. She went to Meharry and Fisk.
Yes.
And so I went to both graduations. So, and it was a long time ago. I remember it very well. I had a great time. What is it like in that area?
Well, I'm pretty much in Nashville. There are a lot of HBCUs. So, I'm not from here. I'm originally from South Carolina, and then I lived in Maryland, Baltimore. Shout out to B More. For about 10 years. Then I moved to Tennessee. But I'm so surprised at how many HBCUs are concentrated like in this Nashville area, and also, Tennessee as well. Their homecoming season is like crazy. Like Nashville is just out of control homecoming season because there's so many homecomings back to back, and people are coming, alumni are coming. It's really great to be around that. I didn't attend an HBCU, but the college that I attended, like there was enough of us to have, kind of that HBCU community kind of feel. But it's great to have that. So much talent comes out of there, like you say, like a dentist. We have Meharry there. It just really does a lot for the culture. People think Nashville, they think country music, but there's lots and lots of cultures here, and I definitely credit that for having the HBCU. So this area is super diverse.
And big shout out to my nephew, who is a junior at Fisk University. He's actually at the school that he and father met at, and he's a business major and finance major, and so he was voted Mr. Junior. So yeah, so big shout out, Charles.
Shout out, Black excellence.
I'm quite proud of him. And I would like to. I'm hoping to be able to go to homecoming. It doesn't look likely right now, but who knows? You never know, right? So
you never know. Put it in the universe, and you'll get brought.
Yeah, but so we'll go back to your work there in Nashville. But I just wanted to get that little flavor in the beginning. Now, once again, where are you from originally?
I am originally from South Carolina, Sumter, South Carolina, to be exact. Like you just kind of got to know where that is and know what that is. But shout out to my hometown. I also moved to like the country when we got, older, as if it wasn't the country anyway, and we call that area Wedgefield. And so I kind of finished out high school and, after college, that's where I live. So shout out to Wedgefield too. So then after college, I moved to Baltimore, Maryland. I had an aunt who lived there. I used to go there for the summers. Like after I graduated from college, like I just wanted to do something. I wanted to be somewhere else. I needed to go somewhere where I had like a relative or somebody that I could just kind of crash with. And that was like the furthest away in like the biggest city that I could go to. So I went there and I ended up staying for like 10 years. She moved back a couple years after I moved there. And so, you know, the family were like, oh, y'all are moving back. I was like, oh no, I'm staying. And so, you know, it was great. That really kicked off my career in PR, those years that I stayed in Baltimore, because, you know, you have the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia. Like, it's just so much opportunities, you know, there.
Right. Were you someone like back in high school that pretty much knew what you wanted to do with your life, or is that something that came later?
I did. I was very much so more on pace then, but you know, you're so young. How do you know? But yes, I knew exactly what I wanted to be, and I wanted to be an obstetrician. I wanted to deliver babies, and so I was very into science, and I went through school that way. And I got to college, and I was a biology major. You know, when I was going the pre-med route, and then I ran into chemistry. And if you know me, well, you know, I'm not a math girl. I'm a wordsmith all day. Communication is my thing, but give me numbers that are not dollars and cents, and I freeze up. And so chemistry, like, took me out, you know, the math portion of it. And so I decided, like, all right, so this might not be the route for me, because this is like the intro to chemistry, and I couldn't do it. You know, the lab work, I would make an A in lab and like a D in the class, you know, because I'm creative, hands-on. I could do the lab stuff all day. But in class, like, that was not my thing. So I decided I was going to change my major. I didn't know what I was going to change it to. I've always been like pretty creative and crafty kind of thing, but you know, this is back then, like 90s, you know, before, you know, Etsy was like this huge thing and all these craft groups. You know, if you crafty, you do stuff for people, you know. So I never thought of like a career in like crafty, creative kind of things. And so I just looked in the college, the course schedule. And so there was a brand new major that had just started called Integrated Marketing Communication. And it had classes. You took classes in like photography, like TV broadcast, radio broadcast, feature writing, news writing, graphic design, business. I was like, oh, this sounds like a whole lot of fun, because I'm multi-passionate. I'm just learning what that is. I'm multi-passionate. Like, I like a lot of different things, but they all kind of come back together and work together somehow. And so, like, I changed over to that major, and like, it was nothing. Like, I just fit in so perfectly. And I was like, okay, well, obviously this is, you know, this must be what is for me. And so that's how I kind of got on the track. So I was supposed to deliver babies, and now I'm delivering messages and stories for the people.
Well, you did still have a chance to deliver at least 2 babies.
I did. Well, not deliver, like, I do, right. You know. I don't want you to think like I'm one of these gangster moms who like had their babies at home, like, boom, ta-da. But I do have 2 little ones. I have an 11-year-old Mason. He is amazing, a prodigy, a genius. Like, he also speaks Chinese. He's just brilliant. Like, that's the homie. And then we also have a 20-month-old, a 21-month-old. He turned 21 months just 2 days ago. Landon, and man, he is adorable. He is busy. He is everywhere. So I kind of have like 10 years in between kids. So it's like I'm a new mom all over again. And you would think like I have all this experience, but like I really don't kind of remember the stuff from before. So it's just, you know, it's kind of like I'm a new mom again. But yeah, we're super excited. But
just to let our audience know that we are live, and if you are watching on our YouTube channel, you can talk into the chat. It is the top chat, which is on over to the right. It says "Say Something," so it's different from the comment section. So if you put in a statement or a question, we will recognize it. So I see that there's people that are watching, but they haven't made themselves be known. So
say something. Talk. I want to talk.
Right.
Ask me a question.
Yes. Okay. So let's get back to you know, getting to the point where you're at. When a lot of people don't quite understand what a publicist really is. They have some ideas, unless you're like in the business, and you may have an understanding. Sometimes even in the business,
we don't know.
So tell us what it is and what are some of the misconceptions of what you do. And prop to Zakira in the chat room.
Oh, hi. She's one of my rich friends. She knows what that is. And if you know what that is, you're probably a rich friend too. Hi, rich friends. Anyway, that is it's a big pain point in the communications field because there's so many different definitions and interpretations of it. But the main thing about that I try to tell people is that you have to think of like communications as this umbrella. So there's so many different things under communication that are like different lanes, but they all kind of cross and work together, you know, to make like one big thing. So public relations would be a subsegment, kind of like of communications in general, and that part focuses more on like media, getting, you know, when you see articles in the newspaper, you know, that's kind of a PR thing, is connecting sources like experts or, you know, people who have a story to tell and connecting them with journalists and the media. So imagine, you know, kind of if everyday people are contacting media, you know, and they want to be on TV, they kind of don't know what to say, kind of don't know how to pitch, how to ask, get a lot of no's. Publicists are kind of in the middle. They are the middleman of the people who need the stories told and getting that to the journalists. So we know how to communicate with the journalists to best have them be connected, you know, with people. And so even things like when you see like guest experts on like the Steve Harvey show, when someone's out there talking about relationships, or even when like they bring the animals out, okay, these people don't do this for a living. They are a zoologist,
right?
You know, or, you know, they are a doctor, like that's a real thing, but they're called guest experts. And so they don't just fall out of the sky. They have publicists who pitch them or who hear about these opportunities and think of, okay, what clients do I have that this will be a good fit for? Hey, Steve Harvey is looking for a guest expert. You know, I think you would be great. Let's do it. And, you know, you kind of mediate on behalf. And then publicists also help prepare people for those experiences, because the last thing you want to do is, you know, land a great interview and then you get it and then you kind of don't know what to say, or you freeze up, or you ramble, and, you know, this is very easy. So when you see these people on there and they're very polished, it's because someone has likely worked with them to make sure that they are able to, you know, communicate their message and speak in sound bites, which is a PR thing where, you know, you say these short, interesting things, because we all know like TV and radio broadcasts get edited. And so you want them to train them to, you know, these are the powerful things that I really want to get out. So I'll say these things in these powerful bursts, which is great for editing. They can just cut that, play that, cut that, play that. You see it a lot in reality TV, you know, in all kind of network TV. So publicists, you know, kind of people see it from the outside, like, oh, call my PR agent, you know, and connect the dots. But there are lots of things that we do behind the scenes to prepare people for the opportunities, and also to teach them how to leverage those opportunities as well. And actually, I have been working on something to kind of help people in the masses. People ask me a lot about helping them with public relations, but what they don't understand is that it can be kind of costly, because publicists are on call 24/7. We're always pitching for you. We're always taking a phone call from the reporter. You know, we're on all the time. So if you can imagine, you know, how stressful that would be. So it's hard if you're an independent publicist like myself to do that for a whole lot of people. And it's not cost effective to everyone who needs it, which are kind of like entrepreneurs and startups. Those are people who really, really need it. But, you know, it's not in the budget. I understand, you know, I'm an entrepreneur, you know, you just have to cut corners and do what you have to do. Or better yet, you just have to learn how to do enough to help yourself until you get to a place where you can pay someone. And, you know, and truth be told, publicists, that's what we want. You know, we want you to already be together. We want you to already know the drill. We want you to already have your little coins together, so you can just pay us so we can pitch you and everybody can come up. You know what I mean? So what I have done is put together a workshop. It's called Instant Authority, which gets people going with the momentum of starting to get media coverage.
All right. I love it. I love it. You know, doing these different shows and, you know, having a lot of people in the industry on my shows, I have to often talk to PR people, right?
Right.
And it's a mixed bag doing the booking, because I do the booking. Generally, I do it myself. I've had bookers at times, but I right now I do it myself. And like I said, it's a mixed bag. Like sometimes it's a wonderful experience. Even if it doesn't go the way you want to, it's still a good experience. And
Right.
sometimes it can be a kind of negative experience. Not all PR people are awesome people to deal with. So and some of them are petty, like,
That
so
was petty, sir.
oh, yeah. But I have to say, you are definitely my favorite of all the ones
Thank
that I've ever
you.
dealt with. And one thing is your communication is awesome, and like it's a very good working relationship with you. You do such a great job of advocating for your people, as well as
Yes.
indicating who they are, what they are, and how we can better help each other.
Right.
And I really appreciate that as
Oh,
someone
well, thank you. That
who
means a lot.
wonderful,
You
especially
know.
appreciate you more when you deal with some of the other people out there. So that you're like, yeah,
Yeah. Well, as a
everybody be like
publicist, when you get clients, you kind of don't know what you get. And a lot of us, we end up with people who are people who need publicists are people who kind of like to be in the spotlight. And we like that. Some of us, we're kind of introverts. We like to hop out the spotlight, go to the red carpet events and be cute, but like we don't want to be like the star. We like being behind the scenes, and we like, helping other people to the spotlight. But man, you get mixed bags, especially like when you start to, work with like celebrities, big personalities, egos, creative people. Lots of us publicists, we're creative people as well. So you just get a lot of different personalities. But I would say that, there are industries where people, just decide they want to be something. They want to do something that looks cool, and they kind of really don't know the inner workings. They know kind of what they see or what they hear, what they see on the outside. The jobs that look fun and cool on the outside, usually on the inside, it's kind of chaos to put on, like a whole show. So some people just decide, they want to be a publicist. They decide they want to be an influencer. They just decide. And, it's an age where you can do that. But there's lots of information and resources. I just say continue to educate yourself. So I did go to school for, marketing communications. I got my Bachelor of Science degree in Integrated Marketing Communications at Winthrop University. In Rock Hill, South Carolina. Shout out to the Woo. And then a couple years later, more than a couple years, a good bit years later, I went back and I got my master's degree at the New York Institute of Technology. And I got a Master of Communication Arts in the Public Relations and Advertising. So like I did go to school for it. And, I do just kind of wing it and, kind of go with street smarts and, what I know and instinct, but I do couple it along, with the education that I have. So, not everyone is able to or wants to, go through that much schooling. But I say, go to conferences, do workshops, connect with other publicists. Like this should not be a competitive industry because we're all about connections. And like we have to work together a lot,
right.
So I mean, you just kind of it just kind of differs, what people's backgrounds are as far as like in the industry.
If you don't mind, I like to kind of go over what is in your job description, what's not, and clear up some misconceptions that people may have. Because a lot of times people watch stuff on television.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people don't know the functions of people who work, on behalf of different, entities or whatever, if it's a celebrity, a hospital or whatever, who may ever need it.
Right.
But let's say, for the example of if you are, let's say, an actor who needs people, a lot of people know about agents, managers, and PR people. Can you kind of give the difference between the three, and also where you guys intersect, if at all?
Right. Okay. Before I do that, let me say this, because people are hitting me up like, we're listening, but we don't know how to get in contact with you. My website address is TaiishaBradley.com. It's TAIISHA Bradley.com. And that's also my social handle. So at Taiisha Bradley, if you are looking for me or you're looking for instant authority. All right. Thank you for hitting me up, but I need to focus. All right. So back to that. So this is what a publicist's responsibilities are, because I think that's where a lot of times people get into feeling like they've had a bad experience, is because they're not sure what to expect. All right. So we're not miracle workers. We can't just just throw it out there, or whatever you want, you just send us after it. So sometimes people will come and, I'll ask them, like, what are your goals? Like, I just want to know, what are your goals? And sometimes they are a knitter. Shout out to all the knitters, but they want to be on Ellen. All right. So you see what I'm saying? That's way up. Not that it's impossible, but you're going to have to stair step up. You're going to have to get some visibility started. So for people who haven't had visibility, or haven't had a lot of visibility, or especially even like national visibility, like, you kind of start small. And you just kind of build. You do like local things, like a local newspaper, an AM FM radio station. You do a podcast. You submit a quote to a blog. Like, you do those little things, and you kind of use those to build up yourself up to become credible. So once you're credible, which means, the people see you, and the media is particularly sees you as an expert, and they also see you as believable, right? Because media, you got to be believable. Imagine, you're working and you have to bring in a person to a meeting, and this person is going to speak about this great thing, but you don't really know this person. This person emailed you. They might be a good fit. You looked the background, you did your best research, so you just have to hope that they don't come in there and embarrass you. Okay. So that's kind of what it's like for journalists. You know what I mean? You kind of taking a chance on who you bring in, you know what I mean? And it looks bad on them, in the long run. So they want to make sure that they've done their due diligence with having someone who has some credibility. So as you get media and you do smaller things, you use that to build up your credibility. So when the media comes to you, or they're considering you, they'll say, okay, you've done some things here or there, or you've done a lot of things, obviously, people are interested in talking to you, how this works, and you've got media coverage. I'd like to take a shot on you. And those are going to be like your producers, where you get like a full segment on the news, or to come on to like a TV show, or, to be on a larger radio show, or something that's syndicated. So you kind of have to build up. And what we find as publicists, a lot of times people don't want to start at that bottom, like they just want to run. And it doesn't work like that. Sometimes you will get something big, especially if you're pretty, established, and you have some credibility, you can get something big and it will change overnight, but that's not the norm. So there's some expectations. And also, think about pitching magazines. When you get a magazine and you look at it for the month, say the month of October, that magazine was pretty much done like 2 months ago. At minimum. For the whole year, they have editorial calendars. They know what they're going to do for the whole year. So they have a whole year to look for people. So a lot of times when you are looking for opportunities, they are not for right then. It may take a couple of months for the editor to get back to you, because they're not working on that right then, but it's something that's coming up. And a lot of times people don't have patience. Like, it's been 2 months and I ain't get a thing. It's been 3 months and I didn't get a thing. Not knowing that, Black Enterprise, or Essence, or Cosmo, or Elle could be right about to push the button. And I've had clients, working before, and just kind of get discouraged, and they're like, all right, I think I kind of, I'm done with this round. And then I get something for them after they've already, we're not working together anymore. And it's unfortunate that I have to pass, because I'm sorry, I don't work with this client anymore. So I would say have patience. Have patience. However, if people are just like promising you, this is the thing. This is how you know it's suspect. If people are promising you for a fact that they can get you at all these places, it's a problem. Not that saying they're doing anything wrong, but it doesn't work like that. Not for the real stuff, not for the important stuff. When people ask you about work that you've done or places that you've been, you really want to be able to speak to that experience, and not just be like, well, my publicist set that up somehow and that's how I got there. You really need to work for it, to do it. We call it earned media because you really did earn it. You are out there, you know, sharing your purpose, living in your gifts, and your publicist is your gift to you. Our purpose is to put you out there, you know, so you just continue to be great, and we'll do that for you. But it just takes some time and some patience. And if anybody says that they can get it for you just done fast, 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 you know, what do they say? Like fast money is, what is it? Short money. Something like fast publicity is short. It's not long term. It's not reaching. It's not things that you can build upon, you know, to do bigger and better things, to get bigger media opportunities, to get different kinds of opportunities, to have people reach out to you to buy your products or to like partner with you. You just kind of never know what can come from. So you always want to do everything with integrity, because we all know with the media, it takes one slip up to find out that, you know, you are less than credible and all authority is gone. No one believes anything that you say again. So, you know, do it the right way.
Yeah. So so now as a publicist, how do you, I'm sorry, not as a publicist, but as an entity, how should one person realize, when do you need a publicist? Like at what point, is it after you've already started to have some sort of success, or do you get it right if you see it coming? I mean, like at what point do I need a publicist?
So that could vary, and I feel like a lot of times, like, you kind of know it's at the point where, you know, you've done media, when you're getting so many requests and you're tired of doing those things, you know, for free, you know, your inbox is full of those, you know, at that point, you know, it's time to get paid to do some things, you know, and leverage yourself that way. Oftentimes people tend to come to me when they don't know anymore, like what to accept, like they don't need it for the exposure anymore. You know, they need to scale it back and only, you know, be choosy. So usually those people are getting a lot of opportunities. Sometimes they're people who are disruptors, like they have something that is disrupting their industry right now, especially if you can ride the wave of something like super current, you know, that's right in your industry. You know, you might be need to position yourself for a publicist, you know, to catch that big windfall, because, you know, it can be overwhelming to be in like the media spotlight, like all of a sudden overnight. And, you know, sometimes there's a person who can, you know, help you out with that and media that for you and sift through those opportunities. So I would say when you don't necessarily need a publicist, it's kind of like when you're starting up, because again, you know, if you get someone who's trained to what they do, they're not going to be that inexpensive. You know, it can be a little issues. And I say, focus those funds when you're starting up, when you're a startup and you're growing, into putting systems in place that you need to kind of be stable, because we don't want, you know, people who don't have those systems in place and they throw all this money to us and we get all this attention to them and they're doing well and they're doing great. And when that kind of dies down, they kind of tinker off and the business doesn't exist anymore. You know, that's not beneficial for us. So we are looking to work with people who are, you know, like long-term and stable as well. So I would say starting off, you know, you can take courses like Instant Authority that will teach you, you know, how you in 2 hours, you can build yourself as credible, you know, and present yourself that way and position yourself, you know, as an authority in your industry, and use that to leverage more relationships, more partnerships, more customers, more sales. And as you know, continue to build, when you get to a place where, you know, like you don't have time for that anymore. You know, you're so busy with, you know, living in your purpose and your gifts, what you do for the business. Then you hire someone to kind of pass that off. So you could definitely, you know, put strategies in place and manage them yourselves when you're starting up. And that's what I specialize in. You know, a lot of people say, well, you know, it's too much, it's over my head, I just want someone to do it. Well, everybody wants someone to just, you know, do it. I just want someone to clean my house, you know, but that's just not the case right now. Of course, you just want somebody to do it. But, you know, if that's not, you're at that place right now, you can work with someone like me who is, you know, I'm lending like my knowledge out to people and just training people. You know, these are things that you can do until you get where you need to be. And I want you to get where you need to be. so you can hire me. So I want to support people kind of on that journey. And again, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a parent. I know that time is limited and money is limited. And those are the two things that entrepreneurs are trying to get. We want more time to do what we want to do, and we want more money to do what we want to do and kind of take care of our families so we can do what we want to do with our families, right? So, people could just educate themselves and kind of bootstrap themselves up in the beginning until they're ready to kind of pass the baton on.
Now, say I'm someone who has like an event, like a film festival, or some sort of public event. How can a publicist help that situation besides, just, I guess, the obvious, which would be like radio spots and stuff like that?
Well, sometimes there are different kinds of publicists. Like, I'm a celebrity publicist because that's what I decided I wanted to be when I was growing up. After I changed my major, I'm gonna be a celebrity publicist. And guess what? I'm the celebrity publicist. I work for myself. Who gonna check me, boo? Right. But I have worked with celebrities. But that's just kind of, I kind of like to work with people who aren't necessarily complete celebrities, famous, but people who like to be in the spotlight, who want to be in the spotlight, who are known or want to be known, for excellence. That's a celebrity to me. So it's not limited to that. But as far as events, there are some publicists that are specifically events publicists. Like, that's kind of what they do. And it's different from like an event marketer. And in the sense of, marketing tends to kind of be a little more of like the paid media, like advertisements, like Facebook ads, like passing out flyers, those kinds of things. Whereas public relations will be more like putting the event postings like online, getting a PSA done on the radio station for pro bono, or getting the event covered, beforehand or the day of, or having a reporter at the event talking to people, asking about their experiences. So that's more of like how an event publicist, publicity works as far as events. It's more about getting impressions, getting people interested in it, as opposed to just selling tickets. It's not just getting butts in the door, but it's getting people pumped up to want to come, to your event.
So I know you do celebrity. You're a celebrity publicist, but if you have a event that's popping off, would you suggest that they, let's say it's like 6 months ahead, would you get the publicist 6 months ahead, or would you wait closer to hire a publicist? Like, like at what point? I always wonder, like, what point do you go, okay, yeah, I need to get a publicist on this right now?
I personally, so listen, I'm an events person. So I've gave myself a moniker. I'm a philanthropic socialite. Like, I will go to a gala, a charity event, but I just like events, and I like to be out, and I'm on like the committee, and I plan like a lot of charity fundraiser events, with different organizers around town. So me personally, because I'm kind of like an events person, a year out, I'm thinking of what to do. I do my kids' birthday parties like a year out because I need to know what I'm doing. So a solid year out from an event, if you could possibly do that, will give you all the time that you can do to work out the kinks, to do all your marketing, to do public relations plans, to have a successful event. Some people can just, if they're an influencer, they have influencers, they can whip up an event and have a lot of people. But if you're kind of doing something grassroots, especially if you're trying to create like a movement or something new, I would say a year out. But if you, have your event done and it's in the works and it's go time, I would say you would need at minimum 90 days to work with the publicist, because that news cycle kind of runs on about 90 days, kind of like a quarter. For instance, if it's something timely, you don't want to wait, because I've had opportunities to get good coverage for events for clients, or for an event. And the event is right around the corner. We just got contracted, and I have the reporter come out, do something, a week or two in advance. and it takes like a week or two, for it to get done, and the production and the process, and it runs, and then the event is the next day. You know what I mean? So you want to give yourself time, you'd be like, all right, cool, I'm having this, a report is coming out tomorrow. Well, it could be a week or two before that reporter gets that segment done, especially if something breaks, like in your area, like some current news. They will switch gears in a minute and get reassigned to something else, Right. So I would definitely try to pad in as much time as possible. At minimum 3 months, just to give things start, you can even just be setting up things, for the next 90 days, so when you just pull the trigger, you just know what the turnaround time is, as well.
Now, being a celebrity, the publicist based in Nashville, have you found that makes things a little difficult because you're not in New York or LA or Atlanta? Well, you're close to Atlanta.
Close to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Yes. I would say very much so. It's a little difficult for certain things. Obviously, if I was in New York or LA, I would get to be involved in a lot more, of the fun parts of being a publicist that people see, like the red carpet events. Like, those are amazing. I would love to do more of those. I wish there were more red carpet events in Nashville, because we do have a lot of celebrities, and we have the Stellar Awards and the CMAs, and I'm sure that they have red carpet stuff. So if anyone knows how they can plug in the plug into the CMAs or the Stellar Awards red carpet, that's a girl. But it's not abundant like it is in like New York and LA. But I do, work with a lot of people virtually. I've worked with clients, you're in LA, I talk to people in LA, and, just technology allows you to be able to do so much. But as I had a client who was in a whole nother country, right. And we were still able to just kind of work like nothing. I would just arrange things for him to go to. Obviously, I wouldn't be across the pond every time to, accompany him to events, but, I would definitely make sure that he was prepared and, knew what to do, and it's fine. Technology. But yeah, right? Thank God for technology. But yeah, I need to be on those red carpet events and at all these awards.
Do you ever go out to LA or New York?
I have never been to LA. I've never been to California.
Wow.
Shame. No, but I've been to Las Vegas twice. Mm-hmm. And I know that California has to be amazing, because I love Las Vegas. I love Nevada. Like, the air is different there. Like, the vibe, it's like I can feel it. Right. So I think that is like radiating off California. So West Coast is, I'm definitely going to get over there. I have some family there also.
Yeah, you gotta come down. You gotta come down.
I know.
And let everybody know. Get your tentacles all over the place.
I know. Listen, I'm afraid I won't want to come back. So I might want to stay. But yeah, and as far as New York, like, I've been in New York like a couple times, but to be honest, like, I'm a metropolitan girl. Like, I like things and destinations and, things to do, but I'm not like a big city girl. Like, I'm not into the subway or the buses or all that walking. Like, Baltimore was about as city as it got, and I lived in the county. So I don't think that I would like to live, in a huge city. Like that. And I despise traffic too, even though there's a lot of traffic around here too. So actually, I live a little south of Nashville. I'm in Rutherford County, Tennessee. Shout out to Rutherford County. There are 3 cities in our county, and we're the largest county. Very family friendly, and we are actually, my city is the number 10 like most desirable city to live in the country.
Oh, nice.
So we have the niceties of like kind of like the suburb, family oriented, tourism kind of living here, like land, like our house is on an acre. You can't get that in a lot of places, but we still have Nashville, which is maybe 40 minutes. Traffic is kind of crazy, so that could vary. Maybe just like 40 minutes down the road, where there's pretty much everything that you could want. So we kind of get the best of both worlds, like where I live.
Nice. Okay, so now you have a special project that you wanted to talk about on the show. Tell the audience about it.
Oh yeah. So speaking of local, the area that I live in again is Rutherford County. Again, our county is growing exponentially. So we're getting a lot of people from other places. And I'm kind of a transplant. Here we have Middle Tennessee State University, and the students are graduating, and this is the number 10 most desirable place to stay. So they're not going home, or they're not moving away, like they're staying here. So we're growing, and the diversity is growing. And I'm super excited because, again, I spent 10 years in the DMV area, DC, Chocolate City, just lots of culture and, all kinds of food, just lots and lots of diversity. However, when I moved back down south, we moved to Tennessee, I kind of forgot. I had taken the diversity, I took it for granted, and I just always felt, like, gosh, I wish there was more things for like minorities, particularly African American culture, like me. I'm interested in what I want to do here where I am. And I'm like, gosh, I just wish there were some things. I wish we didn't always have to drive to Nashville because the traffic is like bad. And you want to go out for like a good night, and have a good time and have a drink. You don't want to have to drive like an hour back in the middle of the night. I wish there were more things here. So I just decided, like, all right, maybe I'll do some things. And the first thing that I was looking for was like a business community of kind of like an African American centric business community kind of presence. And we have the NAACP, but that can be kind of political. I just want to like network.
Right.
So I ended up founding the Rutherford County Black Business Network. And basically what I'm trying to do is connect like the Black business owners here, especially the ones that have storefronts, to know each other. I was really surprised that a lot of them like didn't know each other, and it's not that many. So like, I was like, how do you not know
Right.
this, or sometimes people would just not know that a certain business was Black owned, or they'd be a business that you only see like Black staff and you think it's Black owned, but it's not.
Right.
And places that I've come from, like where there's a lot of diversity, you just kind of know. And so I was just really surprised by that, and I wanted to do something about that. So I wanted everyone to be able to connect. I want like African American entrepreneurs to be able to connect and start to work together and refer each other, and kind of look out for each other, and kind of create this socioeconomic culture, where we live here in this great city that everyone wants to be in, and all these people are coming from different places, and like it's great for our economy here, because it brings in money and jobs and more diversity, and we want people to stay. I want people to stay, so they want business things to do and social things to do. So I put together the business network to take care of the business. And then I started throwing some events like myself, just for things to do. Like I had a relative, my cousin, come into town because she was an artist on display at a gallery where I got her. See, I'm always the PR person, right? So she came all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina to bring her art for a gallery in Tennessee because I hooked that up.
Right.
But the last time she came, we went to Nashville. It was just such a long drive. We had to come back, and it just wasn't like a great time. Like we wanted to turn up and just cut the corner and come back home.
Right.
So I decided to I would do an event for her. But there was an existing event in Nashville that I really liked, and I knew the founder of that. So I was like, hey, can you do this here and we do it together? And so we did, and the event is called it was called Dashikis and Daiquiris. Shout out to Sean Witzel. It's his event out of Nashville. And it was like amazing. Like the culture came out. It was for the people. And you wore your dashiki, you got in free, because I just want people to come and just chill. You got in free. There was free daiquiris and wine, like me, Sean, and some of his team. Like we just kind of pitched in together and just threw a party for the culture and celebrated my cousin being there, as an artist and the arts. We had vendors, we had food. All of the vendors that I hired are African American. They are entrepreneurs, and they're super, super entrepreneurial, because I really love that. Like I love people who have the street smarts and the book smarts, and they hustles right in the middle. You know what I mean? Very corporate, but when the DJ gets lit, they're over there too. I like that. And so I really look for people who would fit like that vibe, and they fit perfectly. And the vendors made money. It was great, to see, people, shopping with the Black owned businesses and making the connect. It was really a beautiful movement. And that assured me that, all right, this is definitely something that the people want and need. So that's something that I'm looking to continue to do. In January, I'm going to do more with the Black Business Network because, I kind of built it and people wanted it and it kind of grew real fast. And I'm like, all right, so what am I going to do now? So, but I have a plan and we're going to build it out, and we'll be doing business events and we'll be doing social events, and we'll be lifting each other up. So that's like my passion project that I'm working on top of everything else.
That is so awesome, man. I just love it. I think it's so important to have because it seemed like back in the 90s, it was more of a connectivity with the Black owned business and stuff like that. And it seemed like there was a lot of guides that were out, and a lot of, and then it just seemed like in the 2000s, it just kind of went away, that togetherness. And then, but it seems like in the last several years, you're starting to hear like more of recycling the Black dollar,
right?
Black empowerment. And
well, it's a little of the political climate. Like you kind of need to get your coins in order and be more self-sustainable.
Right.
So everybody's kind of like thinking like long term, like, all right. I need to be able to take care of me and my family without any kind of infrastructure things. I think people are being moved by that. But I know I just read recently that entrepreneurship is growing, but Black entrepreneurship, especially Black female entrepreneurship, is just like off the charts. That there are actually not enough tools and resources right now to support the amount of minority, particularly African American business professionals and entrepreneurs coming up. Like they need education, they need tools, they need resources. A lot of them are going straight from high school into entrepreneurship and not going to college. And so you can definitely do that, but you do need to know, certain things. And there are people out here like me and other people, who are consultants and coaches, that can, a lot of people, again, people can just decide what they want to be. But, there are real coaches. There are real people out here, who have done this for a living in a corporate structure or a nonprofit structure, and they just want to be free. And they have this knowledge and they want to give it to the people, but they're kind of not trusting. But like now is the time you need to be grabbing up all the information like that you can get. I would say I recently went through an online business course that just it really changed my life. And I know that's so cliche to say, and people say that all the time, but like it's really some smart people out there that know the game, that all they want to do is teach you the game so you can be good too. You know what I mean? And so people need to really, kind of take advantage of that and not shy away from, kind of like the online learning thing. Like it's a big thing. Everything is online now. So I would say be more accepting and open to that because it's really changed the game for me. Like I was thinking small and I didn't know that I was thinking small, because you don't know what you don't know. So definitely, get the knowledge because now is the time, to be an entrepreneur.
It is the time, and there's so many tools that are out there for
you. Like instant authority. You see, I keep bringing it up. Like I'm so excited. Like I could hardly sleep at night sometimes, or I'll stay up all night because I'm just like in the lab. You know how people are in the studio, and how rappers are in the studio like all night working. Like I'm like up working on PR stuff like that. Like, oh, they're not going to be ready for this. They're not going to be ready for this. And the funny thing about it is that in my stuff, like I make things not necessarily simple, but I make them understandable. Like I know how to break stuff down. Like we have an 11-year-old, like a preteen. Like if you have kids or you're around any kind of you have to break stuff down. And so I do that, for people. Like I don't make it necessarily simple. It's still the same processes that I would use as a professional, but I make it really understandable and like fast so you can just kind of get it done and just like let it work. But definitely, people need to just get your education up. Take a course, take a class.
Right. Do it. Let's do it. All right. So we're at the part of the show that I affectionately like to call rapid fire. Rapid fire works is that I be peppering you with questions.
Let me get my water.
Yeah.
How you do.
All right. So are you ready for some rapid fire?
Yes.
Okay, we call it rapid fire, but you go at your own pace.
Okay.
All right. So a couple of years ago at Coachella, they had a hologram concert for the rapper Tupac. What dead artist or band would you like to see a hologram concert of?
Biggie. Next question.
Oh, that's nice. So we did Tupac.
Listen,
We gotta
I'm
do
a
Biggie.
Biggie fan. Oh my gosh, I'm a Biggie fan. Like I have a Biggie t-shirt collection. Like you just can't tell me I ain't going hard. And don't let it be business casual because I will definitely be having a Biggie t-shirt with a blazer on.
All right, Biggie. What's your favorite guilty pleasure junk food?
Ooh, symphony bars, but the ones with the blue writing with the almonds.
Oh,
Favorite. They're like $2 a candy bar too. Like where they do that at? But like my husband will just get me one on the way home, and he'd be like, "Bam! Like I don't need no roses. Roses died. Let me get that symphony bar."
what's a dead celebrity that you wish you could have been their PR person when they were alive?
Ooh, a dead celebrity.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be an actor. It could be just a famous
person. I know. No, never mind. Listen, I was thinking of somebody, but look, that'll be too much trouble. I ain't gonna say who. I don't know. Let's come back. Pass.
Okay. Like we're on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah. Family Feud. Pass.
Okay, so.
Wait. I take it back. And here we go. I'm gonna get deep. I would say my Uncle Bill. So I have a famous uncle. You know, people say they got a famous uncle. So he passed away the day after I had my first son. So July 4th, 2007, he passed away. But Bill Pinkney of Bill Pinkney and the Drifters, you know, Under the Boardwalk, Beach Music. My Uncle Bill was the first person that exposed me to like celebrities and celebrity life. And my first interview with media was with a journalist that was at one of his concerts. So I would have been too young, but hindsight 2020, Uncle Bill, I got you.
All right. So okay, so the next question is speaking of Family Feud, which is so funny, is that okay, Family Feud, it's a team of 5, right? So right. Of course you would be the captain of the team. You got 4 other friends or family members that would be on your Family Feud team.
On my Family Feud team. Man, all right. I'm gonna have to pick my best friend Markeisha. Because that's my everything. She's down with everything. I'm gonna have to pick my girlfriend April. She's down with everything too. She's my cousin too. I would definitely pick my husband because you gotta have your family on it, right? I would pick. Oh gosh, I would pick. How many more people do I have?
One more.
One more. All right. Who else am I gonna pick? Oh, my homie Carlton.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So they're listening out there like they were like, "Ooh,
I know. I pick my friends. Like, what is wrong with me?
Forget the fam.
But listen, I'm trying to win. Like, I know, like me and my friends, like we like the Power Rangers. Like we know what each other are thinking. Like we can knock it out. So no shade to my family, but you know, we got superpowers. I'm trying to get that money. Like, what is it? 100,000, 50,000? I'll take it.
Listen. Focus.
And I'll throw a party for all my family that's mad that I didn't bring them. That's okay. We're going to turn out with the winning.
All right. So last question, we always end on this, is you got to help a brother out. A young man is taking a young lady out on a date in Nashville, and he needs your help. You need to tell him what is the best date that he can take this young lady out.
The best date in Nashville. The best date in Nashville. I mean, it's so much to choose. But I would say, you know, I like to spend time on dates and do experiences. To kind of go downtown and do like the bar crawl thing at Broadway. It's a lot of fun. You meet a lot of strange people. It's a lot like Vegas. So you can kind of bar hop, walk and chill. There are different restaurants, little dive spots. Some of them play music. So yeah, hand in hand, Broadway, downtown Nashville, Nash Vegas.
Okay. All right. So if I'm ever there and I take someone out on a date, if it goes well, I'll take credit. If it goes wrong, hey, Taiisha told me to do it.
Listen, sorry. I'm married. I'm off the game. I don't know.
Oh man. All right. So what's next for you?
What's next for me? I am launching Instant Authority, of course, that I was talking about, because you can tell I'm super excited. I was gonna hold it, but since I'm gonna be on here tonight, like I'm just gonna let it loose. So Instant Authority is on sale now. It's gonna be $47, and that's not a lot of money at all, right? But right now I have it $27 because I'm pumped and I'm here. It's at my website, TaiishaBradley.com. You can check that out and get your whole entire life, get your PR game up. Like it'll instantly transform like the way you look at yourself, the way that people look at you, like physically it's going to change the game, but you got to get it to check it out, right? I could teach you, but I got to charge. Yeah. And then after that, I'm working on something else for the people, PR wise, that is a little bigger, but it's a lot better. It's awesome. Kind of goes more in depth and kind of, once you get the ball rolling with Instant Authority, I am teaching people how to get booked on national media, TV shows, Steve Harvey. I'll show you how to do Ellen. Good luck. So I'll be doing that. And then a little bit further down the line, I have something major, major coming. I'm so excited. Like, I finally figured out how to serve all the people everything that they need in an affordable way, and like I'm so pleased. It kind of really took me like 2 years to be able to do that. So I'm really looking forward to like meeting a lot of people. Like, go to my website and put your name and your email address in, and I'll just kind of keep you updated. But like, I'm gonna be putting people on like nobody's business, and I'm about to be everybody's publicist. I want to see everybody come up. I want to see everybody do well. And y'all remember your publicist and get me in all the red carpets, get me into the gifting suites. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. Like I'm just really excited that I've really found my groove, and found ways to do what I like to do, and and see people come up. Like, I really do genuinely like love to see people come up, and so that's what I'm going to be doing on a big scale. And I'll be, doing more with the Rutherford County Black Business Network, some business and some social events, and, living my best life and playing, at the park with my boys, and, hanging out with the family.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah. Campbell is in the chat room too, so shout out to her.
Teresa?
Yes.
Yeah, hey Teresa. That's my cousin Teresa. Mm-hmm. She teaches theater in California. I don't think she's not in LA, but she's totally an LA girl. She is an actress and a thespian and a first lady. Her husband is Troy, and they have a church as well. Pastor Troy, shout out to Pastor Troy. They are adorable.
Yeah, that's a rapper.
I know, right? And I said something about Pastor Troy on Facebook one time, and he was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, not you, the other Pastor Troy." But he knows who that is. And actually, you should look them up. They have a great church, and Troy has an amazing story about like how he started out like as a gangbanger.
Oh wow!
And kind of went into the ministry.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah. So thank you for watching, cuz my family's so supportive. Yeah. And that's it. That's the same side of my family that I had my Uncle Bill on. Like, so we just some famous people all together.
So how can people get you in social media, and tell us about your website?
Yes. So my website address is www.taiishabradley.com. That's my first name and last name, TAIISHABRADLEY.com. And I'm on Facebook. I'm at Taiisha Bradley MA. That stands for Master of Communication Arts. But then on my rest of my social, I'm just at Taiisha Bradley on Twitter, on Instagram. I'm Taiisha Bradley on YouTube. I think I'm on YouTube. So that's how you reach me. But the best way is to hit me up through my website. There are lots of different ways that You can connect with me. There are lots of different ways that you can work with me. I work with people one-on-one also. So don't think that, I just like have a course that you could do, even though the course is fire. But I work with people one-on-one also. And I also work with people like if you're not sure if you need a publicist or you just need to talk to somebody right quick to see if you're in the right direction. I do consultations like that because a lot of times people are not like all in, or they like talk to me and they're like, oh, I'm not ready. Or they talk to me and they're like, oh, I've been ready for this. So they can go to my website and book one of those with me. It's kind of like a discovery kind of consultation, just trying to see what's up, see if, we vibe and, if we want to work together. So people can hit me up that way too. If if you're really serious and you're really, ready to get seen, get heard. If you have a brand, a business, a product that you're trying to get out there and, you want to do it in a big way and kind of come up in a big way, then definitely publicity is the way to do it. And I'm the person to show you how, because that's what I've been doing for like 20 years. Now I'm doing it for the people.
That's right. Doing it for the people. I love it.
For the people.
You guys can get me on Twitter at Kente F, and you can also on Instagram get me at Kente Ferguson. That's Fergerson, as well as you can get Indie Radio, INDY Radio on Instagram, and you can go to our website, of course, where all of our content lies, indieradio.org. That's INDYradio.org. Friday we'll be back for Talking About Walkers, the Walking Dead podcast. We're covering the season 9 premiere of that, so that's coming up next. And we have more wonderful programming for you in the upcoming weeks. We have a brand new Mars Venus on Monday. We'll be talking about long distance relationships, and so that should be a lot of fun as well. But I want to, before we say goodbye, I want to say thank you so much, Taiisha.
Thank you.
And Taiisha is a wonderful person and a terrific publicist. Aww. And I said this earlier in the show that, I've dealt with a lot of publicists and she is the best. So
I'm real. I'm the real deal.
If you're
a great person. You're really easy to work with. And I appreciate you, doing what you do for the culture also and being out here. Kente is so consistent. Like you got like a cajillion episodes of everything that you do. And you're coming up in your 100th episode of
Mars Venus, and we just did our 100th episode of the Walking Dead podcast.
Wow! See that consistency, man. That's listen. As long as you going, you're gonna win. You winning, and I really admire that about you. You consistent.
But, it's like 1 minute you look up and it's like, man, we've been at it for a while.
That's how you doing what you're destined to do when it's easy.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, real quick, can I shout out to my Coin Collective? Sure, they know what that is. My rich friends, my Coin Collective, Ebony and Tony and Carlene, and hopefully soon we'll be on Mars Venus all together, and we'll tell you what a Coin Collective is. But we're changing the game, like in all of our industries, and we're helping each other do it. So Kente will let us know when we'll be on, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll get that figured out real soon.
Yay! Well, thank you so much for having me.
All right. So you guys have a wonderful weekend. God bless. And we'll see you next time right here on indieradio.org.